Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel on human design. I'm Pragya, and I love talking all things life from the perspective of human design. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about how human design views mental health, what good mental health looks like, and what poor mental health looks like. And I think this is a really important topic to clarify and have more conversations on because from what I understand and from what I see around myself, it is very clear that most human beings are struggling with their mental health. And despite having more security, more comfort, and more amenities in their life than ever before in the history of humankind, we are more unfulfilled and more mentally unhealthy than we have ever been. And I think that's because we don't understand what good mental health actually looks like. So let's explore that in today's video and gain some clarity about what good mental health looks like for a nine-centered human being. The most unique insight that human design offers us is that the mind in us Homo sapiens intransitus, in us nine centered human beings, is not the decision making authority, is not a tool for decision making, is not a source of reaching conclusions, is not a source of deciding what actions you and I should take. Now, this stands in contradiction from everything that we've been taught, from everything that we learn from the world that we live in. The world that we live in teaches us that we must measure the world around ourselves and through that measurement reach a certain conclusion and decide what is good for us or not good for us on the basis of that. What human design says is that your mind is a tool that is here for something entirely different. It is here to witness life, and the decision making authority lies within your intelligent, highly evolved body. Human design says that there is an inner authority that each one of us have that we can access through different processes that tells us whether something is good for us or not, whether something is going to bring us fulfillment or not, whether something is going to bring us our signature or not. So this reveals to us what good mental health is going to look like within a nine centered human being, within you and I. And the first sign of poor mental health in us is when we use our minds to make decisions instead of trusting the inherent intelligence of our bodies. In human design lingo, we refer to a mind that makes decisions as the not self mind, a mind that is in opposition to your true fulfillment, a mind that is in opposition to your inner authority, a mind that is in opposition to your inherent physical intelligence, form intelligence, a mind that I also commonly call as the monkey mind. Each one of us has this little monkey in our mind that says, you should do this and you should do that and you should make this happen because others are making it happen, that compares you to others, that compares what you have or don't have to what others have and don't have, that compares you to what you had previously, to what you want to have in the future, to what you don't want to have in the future. This is a mind that is constantly at unrest because it isn't satisfied with your inherent nature, because it is inherently deeply insecure and doesn't understand that it is part of a larger whole in which it's here to make its unique individual contribution. You see, as nine centered beings, we have evolved enough, our forms have evolved enough to ensure that we don't need our mind for survival, but instead that we are now able to utilize our mind to display the evolution of our form, to display our unique individual awareness. It is no longer about using our mind to survive together as a species by taking advantage of the world around us, but about being individual displays of the evolution of human consciousness so far. It is about being a transitory form in the display of spirit awareness. And let's not forget that it isn't just that the mind is so dominant within us when it comes to decision making, when it comes to measurement and comparison and conclusion drawing, because that is what the history of human evolution has been, but also that this is a fundamental requirement for genes to evolve and to continue reproducing, and for humanity to have evolved to the point that it has. When human beings are insecure about who they are as individuals and insecure about their survival and operate out of that fear of survival, they are attracted to what they are not. They are attracted to difference. And that attraction by itself leads to the growth of population in the way that it has. Human genes need difference in order to grow and in order for us to reproduce and in order for us to create the amount of human beings that we have created, so that consciousness can actually go through this perfection process, this evolution process, in which it can become more and more nuanced, so that a more nuanced awareness can be brought to life. You see, ultimately, everything serves a purpose. And by calling out the mind, I'm not negating the role that it has played in the evolution of human beings. However, for us nine centered human beings, the role of the mind is entirely different. It is not about comparing yourself to others. It is not about mentally calculating what is good for you or not. It is about being secure in your body's intelligence so that you can actually witness the world around you and gain wisdom about it, and eventually, hopefully, get a chance to share your differentiated, unique perspective on things, which is something we call outer authority in human design. The number one sign of poor mental health in nine centered human beings is when they use their minds as a decision making authority. So, effectively speaking, we live in a mentally disturbed world. Now, I know that's quite a statement to make, but if you really begin to look at the world around you, you will see that what we call normal is actually mental dysfunction at its best, at its highest. Every single person around you, for the most part, is stuck in their heads, is constantly comparing themselves to other, is constantly feeling like no matter what they have, it's not enough, that no matter who they have in their life, it's not good enough, that they're not good enough, that others are not good enough, and that instead of really witnessing your life, you need to do something to change it. And that's not true for us nine centered human beings. So, if this is a reality, if we do live in a completely mentally dysfunctional world, then how do we, as conscious, aware, nine centered beings exist in it? How do we, conscious, aware, nine centered beings, remain mentally healthy? Well, first and foremost, you follow your strategy and authority, which is a mechanical strategic tool that helps you bypass your mind. But even when you're starting to be on this experiment, you realize that the mind will not shut up, that the mind will get louder and more manipulative and torment you in ways that you would have never imagined, because you would give into its narratives, you would give into its stories, and it would never get to the point that it does when you do start to experiment with following your strategy and authority. I mean, it can get really depressing up in the head. So, following your strategy and authority, in my experience, is just not enough. It is what has been incredibly helpful for me is learning deeply about the not self mind, learning about its strategies, learning about its tendencies, and learning to witness it no matter how dreadful it gets. So, good mental health in a nine centered human being is not just about not using the mind as a decision making tool, but also being able to witness the mind as it distorts, distracts, and becomes overcome with the conditioning from the world around us. A healthy, nine centered human being is able to not only bypass the not self mental strategies of its mind, but also able to neutralize them by witnessing them even when they are in dysfunction. This is what awareness is about. Awareness isn't about making perfect decisions all the time or about being in a perfect state of bliss and fulfillment all the time. It is a mechanical absolute reality for a nine centered human being to experience mental distraction and mental transference. In simple words, it is very natural for us nine centered human beings to experience our monkey mind. In fact, it is a very important process of gaining wisdom, of gaining awareness, of reaching a point of awareness where we have something unique and differentiated to offer to others. In conclusion, you're a mentally healthy, nine centered human being if you don't use your mind to make decisions, if you actually follow your body's wisdom when it comes to deciding what is good for you or not, when you are able to witness the dysfunction in the world around you and the dysfunction as a result within yourself without trying to get rid of it completely. You're a mentally healthy, nine centered human being if you are witnessing both the expression of your true self and your not self, and both the true self and the not self expression of the world around you without trying to use all of that information to reach any conclusions with it. I'm incredibly interested in the mind. I mean, I'm a mental projector with inner vision cognition on the quarter of initiation. It doesn't get more mental than that. So I want to make a lot more videos on the mind itself. Rave psychology is something that is such a core part of my own experiment and is something that I would like to share about more and more in the hope that you all can really begin to witness the mental dysfunction that we live in so that you can really see how controlled we are. So, I'll see you in the coming few videos. If you like this video, hit that like button, leave me a comment. It always encourages me to make more content. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. That also really encourages me. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good week.